Hi everyone, this is Bonnie from Backward Story, and I went to an incredible signing on Saturday for Bringing YA to PA, and I need to tell you all about all of the amazing people I saw and everything I did. I got to meet up with some of my favorite local bloggers at the event, which is always fun, including Jenna from Shorty Says, and V from Confessions of a Viet Babe. We hung out behind the scenes most of the time between sessions, and we had so much fun together. It was so good to see them again, and she brought her two lovely daughters, and they were so cute and talkative and not shy at all, which is great. I also got to see Frankie again for a little bit, which is always a lot of fun, and she's off of her own blog, Frankie Diane Malice, and she also runs a blog with a few of her other friends, and she's so nice, and there were a lot of other bloggers at the event, and it was such a good day. I picked up a ton of swag that I'm going to be sharing with all of you. There's so much fun stuff, from bookmarks to stickers to lip glosses to samples of upcoming books to little posters, and it was just overall so much fun. There were about 30 authors at the event, and while I couldn't get books signed by everyone because there's just too many people to see and get books signed by, and then you have to buy them all if you don't have them already, but there were some absolutely great names on the list. And I've seen some of the authors before and had books signed, so I didn't need to bring them and get them signed a second time, which is always nice. For example, Ellen Jensen Abbott, who writes about centaurs, was there. Amy Holder was there, and I love Amy Holder, and it's always a joy to see her. And I can't wait until I see her around again because she's local and always seems to be around, which is nice. And I got to see Victoria Schwab for the second time, and while I didn't need to get the Near Witch signed again, I did pick up some archive swag, which I will be sharing, a sticker and a bookmark, and I'm so excited for this book to come out in a few months, and she's always so nice as well. I love Victoria Schwab. That being said, there were 8 authors where I did get books signed, and I brought most of these from home. I only actually bought 2 books at the event. I did buy some books earlier in the week at a discounted rate so that I could buy more for my money, but I did buy 2 books at the event because I would have felt horrible buying nothing, and I might have bought 1 or 2 others, but they didn't have certain things that I was considering, and a lot of this stuff I already owned, so I did not buy as much as it looks like. My wallet is not that unhappy with me. I'm going to start with the order we went in from 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock, and let's take a look at who I got to see and meet and get signed. First up, we have Jackie Morse Kessler. She writes the Riders of the Apocalypse Quartet, and the first 3 books in the quartet are out now, Hunger, Rage, and Loss, and Breath is on the way. And at the event, she showed me a peek at the upcoming cover, and I think it's one of my favorite covers in this series. It looks incredible, and Death is my favorite character in this series. I cannot wait to read a book that is all about him. But these are fantasy books combined with issues. Hunger is about the rider who is famine, who is anorexic, and you've got some signing there. Rage is about the rider of war who is a cutter, and we've got some more. And then Loss is pestilence, and he is bullied. And it was so nice to meet her. I have done blog tours for her last 2 books, and hopefully we'll do it again for Breath. And I love Jackie Morse Kessler. I think she's great. I like the way these books aren't too preachy, and they talk about serious issues while having fun with this fantastic element as well. And I really admire that. Next up was Bridget Kemmerer, and I adore this woman. I cannot even put into words how much I love her and her books, and she's amazing. And Storm is the first book in the quartet, and it was really good, and Spark is even better. I got to read an early copy of it, and it came out a little bit early, and I picked it up and brought it to the event, and I'm so glad I did because they actually did not have copies of Spark at the event, so I felt a little bad. Everybody was getting jealous and wondering where I'd gotten it from, but I didn't feel too bad because she signed it for me. So, but look forward to a big feature coming up with Bridget on my blog, and I will be reviewing these as well, and I'm going to have a themed week, I think. I've also had Jacqueline Dellamore on the blog in the past. She stopped by last year before Between the Sea and Sky came out to participate in the first year of Splash into Summer, and I will link below to that as well. But I loved seeing everything she did. She had sent an arc of Between the Sea and Sky for Splash, and it had an illustrated image in it that I had given away, and I don't even remember who won it, but whoever you were so lucky. And she does this at her signings as well, and it only took her about 30 seconds to draw this image, and she added a mermaid tail, and she remembered the blog in the event, which was really, really nice and made me feel a little bit special. And she drew pictures in all 3 of her books for me, and that was really lovely, and I would love to work with her again. She's such a sweet woman. Award-winning author A.S. King was there. She has the Prince Honor Award for Please Ignore Veredites, and Everybody Sees the Ants, Everyone Sees the Ants is getting a lot of acclaim right now and a lot of buzz, and it's coming out in paperback soon. And I've never read A.S. King before, so I don't want to blind buy another book by her the way I did with this one, but I've been dying to read this for a while. I've been hearing amazing things, and even when she signs, it just sounds smart. She wrote that fundamentally we deliver ourselves. So I'm really looking forward to reading this author once and for all, because I've heard so much about A.S. King, and she lives around here, which is even cooler, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing what all the hype is about. Sesha Murray Kuono was there as well. I probably butchered her name, and I apologize, and I even heard her say it, which just makes it even worse. But Elemental Reality is her first book, and I think the cover is so gorgeous, and I've actually had this sitting on my shelf for maybe up to a year now. I bought it when it came out because it was so pretty, and then I never got around to reading it. But every single chapter starts with this really cool imagery behind it, and I just think it's a really prettily bound interior design, and that didn't sound right at all, but it looks great. Battle Scars actually wasn't out on time. It's going to hopefully be out in October, she's hoping, but the cover is already out, and that is really pretty looking as well. While I never read Touch of Power when it was up on NetGalley last year or this year or whenever it was, I heard so many people talk about how good it was. I hadn't picked it up at the time because it reminded me of a middle grade book, I think, called The Shifter that I'd heard about in the past that I'd wanted to read. But I love the cover for this book. I love that there's a kingdom in the background, and I did like her teen series, which consists of Inside Out and Outside In, and they're sort of dystopian sci-fi, and I haven't read anything else by her, but I hear all of her trilogies are incredible, especially her Poison books, or rather her study books, which starts with Poison Study. So I'm looking forward to reading an adult novel by her, and there we are. Again, 8/25/2012, that was the date this year. Now, Jerry Smith Ready is interesting because I was not planning to buy any of the 3 books sitting in front of me right now. I don't even know what the name of I guess it's the Shade Trilogy. I wasn't planning to buy these. These are so paranormal and not my usual thing at all, but I have had so many people tell me that they're fantastic, and the other day on Twitter, author Jennifer Armentrout was trying really hard to convince me that I wanted to read these, and that these are paranormal for the non-paranormal loving person, and that they're more contemporary with a bit of a paranormal spin to them. And so I decided to give in and try them out, and I blind bought the trilogy. So we are going to see what I think, and hopefully I love these, because otherwise I know several people who are in trouble. But the author was really nice, and she remembered the Twitter conversation, and I did try starting to read Shade, but I couldn't get that far into it because the main character, or he might not be a main character, I'm not far enough into it to know yet, and I don't know anything about these books. I haven't read the summaries in at least a year or anything, but she mentions a guy named Logan, and usually when you mention a guy right away, he's going to be a major character, so I'm just assuming he am. I might be completely wrong, and this is all in my head, but I just finished reading Defiance by C.J. Redwine last week, which is fantastic. It comes out officially today, Tuesday, and I cannot wait to have a finished copy of this book. And the main male character in that book's name is Logan. So I just kind of had to wait until Defiance fades a little bit from my memory, because it was such a good book that it has a very strong place in my mind right now. So I'm going to wait a little bit to read Shade, just in case Logan turns into a main character. But she signed all of my books. It's pretty black. And last but certainly not least, I got to meet Jennifer Armentrout, and I adore her books. I have reviewed both Half-Blood and Pure on my blog in the past, and I participated in the blog tour for Pure. I have Arcs of Deity and Cursed, and I'm actually reading Cursed right now, and I'm only 50 pages in, but it's already interesting. And she also has Obsidian and Onyx, and I own Obsidian on my Nook, and I was going to buy Onyx that way too, and then I heard that she was coming and thought that I would like to get physical copies to have signed, and Obsidian has been on back order everywhere, so I couldn't get it signed. So hopefully Jennifer Armentrout comes out this way again in the future so I can get it signed, and by then more books will be out by her that I can get signed as well. But her books are fantastic. She has a really good way of mixing, say, mythology and romance and everything, and the books are so hard to put down, and they're just so addicting, and I can't wait to read more by this author. And when we weren't at the signings, Jennifer Armentrout was actually hanging out with us behind in the room that we had staked out for a while, which was really cool. She told us little things, and she had these awesome posters that she was giving away. And I did take one of Cursed, but I'm going to give it to my local library for them to hang up in their teen section, so that even more people can become familiar with these awesome books. And what I liked about her books, the pen she used was purple, which matches the purple from the first book, and then the second book is blue, and the writing is blue, and Onyx is also blue. So I thought that was really cool that she kind of themed the pens to the books. Rachel Hawkins did that as well when I met her a few months ago, and it's just such a cool thing to do. I'll have to remember that if I ever become published. I had a genuinely fantastic time on Saturday. It was a great day, one of the best signings I've been to by far, because I love so many of the authors that were there. And, I went out shopping afterwards, and they had one dress in my size, in my favorite color that I got for a wedding, matching shoes. Every single t-shirt that I tried on in the fitting room fit, which never happens. And so my luck just carried over from the signings into the rest of the day, and I had so much fun. I'm definitely going to be sharing some of my good time with you through all of this swag, and thank you for sticking with this really long video to see how my day went, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a great one. Bye.